Hi, everybody. Nice to see everyone again. Today, we're here to talk to you about Cloudflare Workers and Momento integration. My name is Daniela. We have one of our software engineers that worked on the integration showing us the demo today. It's Ramya. Hi, Ramya. So for those of you that don't know about Cloudflare Workers, they're really cool. They're a really cool piece of technology that allows you to deploy your code in a serverless way, no servers to manage, across the globe in a distributed manner in a matter of milliseconds. So if you haven't checked it out, it's really cool. You should go check it out. But we'll let Ramya tell us a little bit more specifically about the Cloudflare Momento integration.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Daniela. So when you deploy a worker on Cloudflare, it's going to be running on a lot of machines that are deployed at the edge and very close to the user. In these situations, you might still want to protect your main server from being hit with a lot of requests. And it helps to have a distributed cache that's accessible to every instance of your worker. And Momento is trying to solve this problem by being that distributed cache. So today you can create and deploy a Cloudflare worker that's going to be calling Momento without this integration. So in that case, what you would have to do is you would have to manage the authentication and authorization for your worker application yourself. What the integration is trying to simplify is it automates this process of generating whatever API keys that you need for your worker to be able to access Momento. And you don't need to worry about that. You can just write your code. You don't need to worry about handling those secrets, storing those secrets in your Cloudflare worker. You can just use this Momento integration. I think it would help if I just switched to a demo and showed you what I was talking about.
Yeah, that'd be great. Let's take a look.
Great. So I have a Cloudflare worker already deployed to my account. What this Cloudflare worker does is it keeps track of the last time a particular IP tried to access this worker. And I'm storing this information in a Momento cache for 1 hour. So if there are no visits in the last hour and this is the first time there's a request from a particular IP address, it's going to show a message stating that. And if there is a prior visit in the last hour, it's going to display the time of the last visit. And I have already written up the logic for this worker and it's deployed. The thing that it needs is an API key so that it has the permissions to access Momento and set and get values from the cache that I'm using. And the information that I'm storing in the cache via this worker is limited to a time to live of 1 hour, which is why it's only that worker is only going to track visits within the last hour. So in order to get that API key, I'm going to add the Cloudflare integration to this worker. So when I click into the worker, there is an integrations tab that shows all the available databases or caches or message queues that you can integrate with. Momento is the first cache integration that Cloudflare is offering. And one of the highlights of using Momento is that it's extremely fast. So even though the cache is not technically running at the edge, you can still set and get data from it in a matter of single-digit milliseconds.
Yeah, that's one of the selling points for cloud workers themselves is because they're globally distributed. They run within milliseconds of your user's location. So your users get the data and get really, really fast application performance. Momento really, I think, extends that logic to backend data access as well via cache.
Yeah. So the very first card that I see here is for Momento, and I'm going to click on Add Integration. The first step is where I need to grant permissions to this integration so that it can go and grab an API key from Momento and then add that API key as a secret to my worker. So I'm clicking accept here. And we move on to the second step, which is basically I'm signing into Momento through the integration so that it can go and get a token. So I'm going to sign in via my Google address. And we have two-step verification, which is extremely useful for security.
Yep.
Yeah. So I just signed into Momento through a pop-up window that showed up. And once I do the sign-in, the pop-up window disappears and the integration has gone and generated an API key that this worker can use. And now we can also go and select the region that we want to access the cache in. So these are the secrets that the integration is going to add to my worker. So the first one is the HTTP endpoint. So Cloudflare Workers generally use the fetch API for HTTP. And Momento's main offering is a gRPC API. But we also have an HTTP API that you can use in environments that do not natively support the HTTP request types that are required by gRPC. So this is the reason that we have this endpoint added as an environment variable to the worker. So I'm not going to be using the Momento SDK in this worker. I'm actually using our HTTP API that offers you can do sets and gets and deletes with it. And then the API key is the secret that's required for the worker to be able to authenticate and authorize with the Momento server to access this cache. So I've added this worker now. And if I now try and run this worker, and we just click open this in a new tab. Okay, so this was the first time I'm ever accessing this worker. So it's telling me that, oh, this is your first visit because that entry didn't exist in the cache. And if I try this again.
So every time you click on the link, it's visiting Momento cache.
It's sending a request to the worker. Mm-hmm. And the worker is checking if there is a record of a prior visit.
Cool.
Yeah. And the cool thing is because Momento is a distributed cache, you can access this worker from any browser. You can do it from curl. And it should still, as long as you're accessing it from the same IP address, it will show you the same messages.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. So that was the demo.
Thanks, Ramya. So check out Cloudflare Workers if you haven't already, and check out the Cloudflare Momento integration with it for any data that you may want to access in a matter of milliseconds from your backend. And we look forward to hearing your feedback. In addition, Cloudflare is not the only edge integration we have. We also have integration examples with Vercel, Fastly, Dino, Netlify, and we're looking forward to adding more to our ecosystem. So please let us know if there are other integrations you're looking forward to. And thank you very much for watching. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.